Okay,
Yeah.
Silo Creek.
Yeah, so Silo Creek, so it all kind of got started by our passion for bow hunting, white-tailed deer, right? And our passion for the outdoors. And Jerry's been a friend of mine for a while. We've hunted together. We leased 157 acres over in Barron County, just up the road from where Silo Creek Farms is. And so we wanted to own our property one day and manage it for wildlife. It seems contradictory to a lot of people, right? Managing for wildlife than going out there and killing them, right? But
They live a good life.
yeah, they live a good life, and the reality is there's a lot of them. But yeah, we love managing the property, not only just for white-tailed deer, but for bees, for butterflies, for upland game, birds, etc. So really, our vision was just to take this 161 acres, which we call Silo Creek, and the reason why we call it Silo Creek is we got an old porcelain silo on the property, and we got a creek. So we thought, well, why not just call it Silo Creek? So, we put our vision together and incorporated a management plan through Barron County, through basically the state of Wisconsin, the DNR, and also some federal programs that have been made available to us. So we're just trying to make the property better than how we found it, and allow our friends, family, and whomever to enjoy it with us.
I've been up there twice, and it was really beautiful. I'd love to go trot around in the woods and check out what you're growing and feeding them, and then explore some of those drainages and look for mushrooms.
Yeah, I'm sure. I haven't really actively looked for mushrooms out there yet, but
they got to be there.
There's so much diversity that got to be there.
Yeah,
because we have lowlands, we have the highlands, we have pine plantations, we have deciduous wood patches, we have creek bottoms, we got buckthorn, we have you name it. We pretty much have it out there.
Is for those of us that don't know what deciduous wood is.
So deciduous is this, it's a mixture of hardwoods that we have, here in our geographic area. So for instance, there's going to be some oaks, some maples, some birch, cherry trees, just a mix of kind of that hardwood tree versus, a coniferous forest, or
right.
I don't even think I said that right, but which is basically pine trees.
Yep.
So.
And you do have some tracts of pine, right?
Yeah, we have probably about 15 acres of pine tree plantations, and we're adding another 10,000 trees.
Oh, wow.
Coming later part of this year. So that's a big part of the management program as well.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. So what do you feed them? You grow crops just specifically for those guys? Yeah,
so we have 45-ish acres of tillable land that we actually lease out to a local farmer who farms for soybeans and corn and potentially alfalfa, hay. Mm-hmm. We've been mainly rotating corns and beans. And then we have some strategic areas which are called staging plots, where we usually will plant like a brassicas, which is a turnip, a radish type, kind of underground.
Like a tuber?
Like a tuber, yeah, exactly, tuber. The deer really love the tuber type plants like that when we get our first frost, because all the sweetness comes to the top, and they love to eat the leaves. And then in the wintertime, they dig them up.
Oh, and they do eat them.
Yep, they eat them. Yep, they eat them from top to bottom. It's kind of interesting based upon the weather patterns, et cetera, what they prefer with that particular planting. So sometimes they'll walk right by it and not take a bite of it. Other times they'll spend plenty of time in the field just mowing it down. So, they're like us. They like to have a little diversity in their meals. Sometimes you want a steak, sometimes you want a fish, sometimes you want a salad.
That deer you gave me a couple of weeks ago was so delicious. It tastes amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I've eaten moose and caribou, and that's good, but it can be bad. Mm-hmm. And I just think that around here, they just have such a good diet.
They do. They're basically eating the same things our cattle eat. Mm-hmm. They're eating beans, they're eating silage, which is corn, they're eating corn. Of course they browse a lot too, so that's where you maybe a little hint of gamey flavor as the browse that they're eating throughout the woods. But if you watch a cow, he's browsing. You know,
The whole time,
if there's a tree branch that's going across the fence, he's going to eat it.
Yeah.
You know, so the cows will browse too. That's just the characteristics that they have as those types of hoofed animals. But yeah, where we're at in that Wisconsin area there, it's prime. It's good. It's as good as beef, you know?
Yeah. And the land is, there's a lot of diversity in that piece of land up on Silo. When we flew that drone, I was really impressed with just all the topography.
Yeah.
You've got that big hill, which Morel's like.
Yeah.
And then how it just kind of rolls down almost to, if that was at a creek bottom.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Eventually it all goes down to a creek bottom that does not freeze. It's got a natural spring right on our property.
Oh, that's great.
Which ultimately feeds into the hay, which is just less than a mile away, the Hay River over in the Prairie Farm area. So, yeah, everything kind of, I was told that we have the second highest point in Barron County with the one hill. But there was a hill that I haven't even brought you up to yet. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
And there's probably some morels hiding out up there too. It's just a little bit more, it's a little more dense up there. And then, quite frankly, that's where a lot of the mature deer like to hang out because they can hang out up there. It's very dense, but they can also strategically lay down and watch their surroundings to see if any danger is coming. So a lot of times the mature deer like that secondary hill that I haven't shown you yet.
Well, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. But that's what we loved about it too. A lot of diversity, a lot of different types of animals out there, from, the types of birds that we see to, we see fishers, which a lot of people who don't know what a fisher is, it looks like a huge cross between an otter and a weasel,
Oh, I heard one of those in the woods one time.
Yeah, they're pretty nasty.
Sounded like a screaming woman.
Yeah. Well, they're part of the Wolverine family, so they can be pretty mean. And
How big are they?
They're probably 3 feet long.
Really?
It depends on how old they are.
They just live in the water primarily, and do they build?
Oh, they don't even really. They're more land-based animals. But they live by the water. They live by the water. They're more land-based animals. They really look a lot like an otter. They just don't have the webbed feet and stuff that an otter has to swim.
Super swim.
Yeah, so they love going after squirrels and hatchlings and that sort of thing. That's what they're after. And if you're not careful, I mean, I've had one climb up right up my tree, and I had to be ready because they're mean.
It was coming after you.
Yeah. Well, he smelled. I had some,
venison jerky.
I had some scent actually, trying to attract the bucks, right? So I had some scent on my boots, and I think he liked how that smelled. So he came to the base of my tree and started kind of making a move upwards, and I had to draw back my bow on him. He took a look at me, I took a look at him, and I actually just purposely put an arrow right next to him, and then he trotted off from there.
Just kind of like a weasel.
Yeah, he just kind of looked at me, kind of like basically stuck up his middle finger and said, "Fuck you, buddy. You were never going to shoot me."
I was sleeping in a hammock on the banks of the Yellow River up there south of Danbury.
Yeah.
And middle of the night, I must have rollen over in my hammock tent. So I'm off the ground, and all of a sudden I woke up, and it sounded like a banshee. It sounded like a screaming, blood-curdling scream from a woman, and it was traveling so fast away from me.
Yeah.
So whatever it was, I startled by shifting in my hammock, and it did not like it, and it was just yelling at me. And I couldn't figure it out, but I did some research, and it was like, well, it could have been a fox, could have been some type of cat. And then the fisher came up. I'm like, that must have been.
Yeah, it probably was, and maybe it was a good thing you woke up.
Right, climbing my hammock with me and chewing off my toes.
He might have got you. He might have got you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a great property. We have a lot of fun out there. It's a lot of work, but it's not work.
Yeah.
It's a great place to, kind of de-stress. Kind of a meditation almost environment out there.
Yeah, the inside is really nice. Now, can people rent that? Can they book it out for the week?
Yeah, so we actually, Jerry, my business partner in Silo Creek, he recently took on a job over Detroit. So he's over there. He's got a big job, keeps him real busy, so he doesn't get a chance to use the farm as much as he would like. And quite frankly, I don't either, run the businesses and whatnot. I wish I could get up there a little bit more. But, initially we never thought we would do it. But yeah, we're absolutely doing it because it's just a place we want to share with people.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a great environment for people who just want to come up there and just get away and enjoy nature, kind of enjoy that landscape. You're not looking at a lake, but you're looking at fields, you're looking at woods, you got some great walking trails around there. If you like to mountain bike, you can mountain your bike your way through the property. There's some cool trails you can hit there.
And there's lots of birds.
Tons of birds.
Yeah.
That's actually one of my favorite things to do is just when I take my old little dog for a walk in the morning, I have a little bird app that I just like to put on and identify the different types of birds because there's so many of them. And in fact, one of the coolest birds that we have out there is an indigo bunting.
Oh, and those are beautiful.
Yeah, just radiant blue, and he's on the power line every single morning, just singing away.
His heart out.
Yeah, and so he's fun to see, and we have a variety of birds. So for the bird watcher, our place would be a great spot to hang out, and we're going to be committed to putting some feeding stations out there as well, right around the property. So
kind of up close, so you can see it while you're eating breakfast.
Yeah, especially if you're maybe doing a winter rental.
Yeah, and
you just want to kind of see, obviously the species of the birds declines throughout the course of the year as we get closer to winter, but we still have some pretty cool bird species out there. You got your cardinals coming in, you got your your chickadees, your blue jays, your juncos. You got a variety of birds coming in. It's really pretty cool to see that. And then you just never know what you're going to see. But it's a great spot because we're just down the road from Prairie Farm, and you got your access to the Hay River right there.
Yeah, what's that? You took me to. We stopped by a bar there. The Gosling?
Gosnell's Packer Inn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the Packer Inn, and I'm a Vikings fan, so I got going there with protection sometimes. But no, it's a great spot. It's like I call it the living room bar. So you sit down there. It's like hanging out in the living room. People coming and going. Everybody's super friendly there.
Most everybody knows each other.
Everybody knows each other, and that's one of the things. We're literally, you could walk to Gosnell's.
Yeah.
Packer Inn from our place.
Yeah,
that's
probably
how close
have.
we are. I have actually. Yeah. Did a midnight plus walk one night. Yeah.
It's a good idea. It's a nice walk.
Yeah, it's good. You got to burn off some calories and maybe dry out a little bit, whatever. But so we rent it out.
How does somebody go about that? Do you have a website or?
Yeah, so we have a Facebook site out there, Silo Creek Barndominium.
Okay.
So if you go to Silo Creek Barndominium, and then we actually have a property management company that manages it for us. So we run it through Evolve, which basically syndicates to like Airbnb and Airbnb and VRBO and all those sites. So
it would be a really cool spot for a wedding party too.
It would be a great spot for a wedding party, for a graduation even, or just an event. We have enough space there. I mean, it's a nice place, right? So, we do credential the people who are renting it, because it is a nice place.
You have to,
yeah. And but there's a lot of different things you can do. You have just down the road is one of the most popular wedding venues in all of America, and that's the Enchanted Barn.
I've heard of that. I think I might have played there once.
Yeah, it's a cool place. So a lot of people like to get married there. And just do special events there. We're only about 15 minutes away from the Enchanted Barn. So,
cool.
They have some on-site facilities there, but depending upon the wedding, you might need some additional space. And, coming to Silo Creek would be a great option for that because you're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the Enchanted Barn.
Yeah, next time we go up there, we should try to cruise by the Enchanted Barn. I'm sure they're closed this time of year, but...
Yeah, I know they've been expanding their hours because they do some things over there. Now, I'll be the first to admit I don't know the owners there.
Mm-hmm.
I know the venue, And I really need to introduce myself to the owners, just to let them know if they ever need some overflow, we're there for them to help out.
Yeah.
As far as lodging goes, but yeah, it's one of the most sought after venues for people who kind of want that farm barn style type wedding.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely beautiful and the setup's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Free plug for you, Enchanted Barn, even though I don't know who you are. But
Yeah, we'll meet them. We're going to go take a picture of their barn with the drone.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to be featured in the calendar.
Yeah, exactly. The cool barn calendar we're gonna put together.
Yep.
Yeah. So no, it's love to have you guys come out. Like I said, we're right off the ATV trails, we're right off the snowmobile trails too. So we don't allow ATV or snowmobiling on our property. We allow access to the trails from our property, but we really want to maintain that for people who are wanting to walk around, look at the birds, and also we want to maintain the habitat, not disrupt it that much. So we have a variety of walking trails and access points throughout the course of the property, and it's a great place to take a walk or snowshoe or whatever you might want to do.
Yep.
Mountain bike. We just, like I said, we just don't want. I'm an ATV or side-by-side guy with snowmobile or two, and, I don't even really snowmobile. The only thing I do on it is I will run the snowmobile through just to make sure the deer have some good walking. In the winter, if like this last year, the snow got really deep, and I snowmobiled around to give them access to all the food plots and stuff. And I think if they could speak, they would thank me for that,
They probably will.
Yeah.
Next fall.
Yeah. As they see me in my camo with my arrow drawn back.
Here is my tenderloin.
Yeah. There's that guy that's really nice in the off season, and you got to look out for in the hunting season. Yeah. So. Yeah,
I think my favorite piece of meat that I've experienced in the past few years was out ice fishing with my friends. They just harvested a deer and brought along a backstrap and gave it to me. They're like, Snyder, here, and I just had some bacon. So I cooked up the bacon, and then I cooked up that backstrap in the bacon grease. Mm-hmm. And it was just incredible in a Dutch oven over like charcoal. Yeah, and it was like insane. Well, I tell you, the best. We have a tradition during the deer hunting season, and like I said, we're mainly archers. But when we shoot a deer, that night we celebrate with the tenderloins. Oh, and it's a quick marinade. It's a olive oil. It's garlic. It's a little bit of butter, and we put it on there. I tell you, I have not found anybody who does not like that, or has not said that this is the best whatever I call it I've ever had. It's a lot like a steak. It just melts in your mouth, and then if you want to be even more adventurous, you can get after the back straps once you skin the deer, and that's a little bit bigger meal for you. But we usually never freeze those. We'll grab those as fresh as we can, and it's just a treat to have. I don't think I've ever had a deer tenderloin. Yeah. Yep. Unless it's you gave me a bag of meat and there were some chops. We never have them in there because guess what? We take them out right away. We take them out right there. You got to be at camp when we're hanging the deer on the pole. Yeah. That's something else I wanted to mention, that you are completely set up to process those deer for the most part, right? Yeah. So we actually, we do skin ourselves. We don't actually do the sausage and jerky and that sort of thing. A lot of times we'll give that to our friends and family who want to do that. Mm-hmm. But we actually use a processor right out of Clayton, Minnesota. It's Mike's Champion, Northwoods Meats, Mike's Champions Meats. He's great. We've used him for years. He wins awards all over the country with his, sausage making and jerky making skills. It's great. We may set something up in the future as we have a little bit more time on our hands to do that, because I think it would be a great thing to do. And a lot of people locally around us do that, because there's just so many different recipes and stuff you can try. I'd love to, like I said, we should throw a sausage fest. Yeah. We can rename it. Yeah, I don't think we want to go sausage fest, but might want to go, I don't know, Venison Fest, or Harvest Fest, like Harvest Fest. Everybody brings their fall-time recipes out. Yeah, bring them on out. Otherwise, we talked about maybe doing a squirrel fest out there and having a little squirrel hunt and seeing how we might be able to manipulate the meat in those little creatures to make them taste really good. Yeah, so they are good. Yeah, I can't
remember the last time I had a squirrel, but I think it tasted like chicken.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
You know.
We should do that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of different things. But you know, it's a great spot. Silo Creek Farms. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm a big part of what we made it out to be because it just used to. It was previously owned by somebody in downtown Stillwater who had a dream of building just a little house. He's kind of a hippie. Actually, he is a hippie. He'd be the first one to tell you he is. And he owned it for 14 years and probably was out there 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
You know, so him seeing what we've done to it, I think he'd be pretty proud of what we did.
Yeah. Well, it shows. I mean, you're passionate about it, and that's what it takes to take on something like that. Otherwise, you're not going to want to be out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, we talked about the rental option, the short-term rental option for it too. I'm looking forward to getting that really going so I can share it with everybody who wants to rent it and be part of it, and really curious to see, because I want them to document a little bit about their experience there.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be able to just have a collection of all the experiences that people had out at the farm.
Yep.
You know, that would be great for me to see that piece of it. You
Yeah.
know?
No, that's a great idea. Well, when you guys do your hunting camp, make sure you invite me,
Yeah.
because I'll come out with my drone. I won't scare the deer, but
Yeah.
I'll help.
Well, we'll put you on the
GoPros.
smoker too. Oh, yeah. We always usually have a camp cook there, and if you want to raise your hand for a night or two of that, you're more than welcome to do that.
As long as I can smoke a brisket.
Yeah, we always have a brisket. Brisket's one of the ones, yeah. One of the ones. I did it last year, so I actually forego a morning of hunting because I was tending to my brisket, you know.
Yep.
But, yeah, be fun.
That'd
for
be
sure.
awesome. I wonder if the deer would smell it, would it spook them?
They'd probably start, maybe you could just sit right there
I know, they just come up.
in a lawn chair, you know.
Smoke some corn.
Yeah, smoke some corn. All of a sudden, you see the guy with the big horns coming in now for a little taste. You never know.
That sounds awesome.
We've had him come out by the bonfire when we were sitting there before.
Really?
Yeah, this come in like.
What's the most you've seen when you've walked out, or have you ever just seen like 50 deer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Usually in the wintertime because we leave some crops up for them. So I went down in the field this last year, and there was 15 deer sitting in one field and 35 pheasants. Pheasants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are huge.
Yeah.
They're a lot bigger than I've never actually seen one or hunted for one.
And that's where we feel like our practices are helping that area too, because there's never really been a lot of pheasants around the area where Silo Creek Farms is. And now there's a lot of pheasants around there. And I think partly because they're adapting and they're expanding their ranges, but also partly because we have a lot of neighbors and a lot of farmers in the area that leave crop up to manage the wildlife.
Just to give them something to eat.
Give them something to eat. People love watching them. You learn a lot. Sometimes it's nicest to kick back and enjoy what God's given us to look at, and leaving them some soybeans helps.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, why take them all?
Yeah, exactly. So,
Well, cool, Bob. This is Bob Snyder.
yeah, that's Chris over there. It's my brother from another mother and father, I think, but coincidentally, we got the same last name.
So my great-grandpa Wally owned a big mink farm out by Ladysmith
Yeah.
or Luck. So there are Snyders
Snyder's over in that part of the world.
from this area.
Yeah, so we were in northeast Minneapolis is where we kind of settled, kind of a Russian Polak Snyder version,
Okay.
version.
I'm more like a Scottish German version.
Yeah. I don't know, but hey, we're Snyders, man.
We're Snyders, man.
Yeah, weird, huh?
That was when we changed our last name and they just spelled it the same.
Yeah. I think we used to be a Schneider.
Yeah, Schneider.
Yeah, and then we just made it easier.
Schneider.
What the hell is a Schneider, anyways?
It's
How many times
furniture company.
How many times you called Schneider?
Oh, or a Cinder.
Oh
S-Y-N.
yeah, like Cinder, SYN.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It's not that hard to spell.
It happens.
6 letters.
Hey, nothing against the Cinders and the Schneiders out there, but it's kind of like being called a Rob, and I'm a Bob, so
Or Robert.
Robert's my given name, so I'll kind of deal with that. But
Yeah.
when somebody just assumes my name's Rob, I kind of get a little angry on the inside.
Well, I'm glad I never called you Rob.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. Nothing against Rob's either. That's just not who I am. So, yeah. But Silo Creek, yeah.
Silo Creek.
Yeah, check it out. God, we'd love to have you guys come out and, do a 3-day rental on the place and check it out. It sleeps 10 people. You break it up amongst, 2, 3, 4 couples. Pretty affordable for a really cool experience. You don't even have to leave the place. But if you want to do a fun little bar hop in the area or do some nature viewing or what have you, I can't think of a better way to do it than...
Fishing's just down the road too, right? You took me out there ice fishing, last year? Is that out by Chautauqua?
Yeah, glad you brought that up. So Chautauqua's about 20 minutes away from Silo Creek, but also there's really good trout fishing. And a lot of people don't realize that in that area. So we have the Pine River, or Pine Creek, excuse me. We have Sand Creek. We have, we have a variety of tributary systems there from the Hay River, from the Red Cedar River. So there's some really
are there
cool
trout
places.
in yours?
In my little creek, I don't know. There probably is. They probably be little brookies or something. We haven't seen them. From where the spring starts to where the creek crosses our border, there's not really a lot of spots to fly fish. It's only probably about 2 to 3 inches deep.
Okay.
But it is flowing all the time. So there's something in there. I've seen things swimming in there, but I haven't been able to identify what they might be.
Have you looked down at the mouth where it dumps into the hay?
No, I haven't been down there, but I'm sure there's some good spots there because it's chilly water. I had actually thought about putting a kind of a minnow catcher. It's perfect for you can put a little minnow trap right there and just kind of get a sense for what's living in there, what's in there. In fact, I should probably maybe think about doing that. Now's a good time to be doing that as we get the snow melt and stuff, and it's going to be a little bit, more vibrant as far as the current goes.
Yeah. Well, I'd come help you with that.
Yeah, anytime.
Let's make an excuse.
Yeah, an excuse. What's great about being in our business, right? You can still prospect from the farm. You can still talk to buyers and sellers and stuff from the farm. In fact, mentally, we're probably in a better place to do it there.
Really?
So,
I love this business. I love playing music and being creative, but doing real estate's just really fun. I've really enjoyed the relationships I've made along the way.
Yeah.
And I've never taken on more than I could handle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been really fun joining your team, the Snyder team, and it's just I feel blessed, and it's I appreciate you guys. So
that goes both ways. It's one thing that's really neat about our business is you can make it your own. What I would tell people who are thinking about getting in the business is it's not a job. It's not a career. It's a lifestyle.
Yes.
So, you're always on. But with that being said, if you enjoy doing it, it's like you're not even going to work,
Yeah,
so,
it's talking to people.
Yeah. You get to make it how you want. It's a true entrepreneurial type of environment that we're in as real estate agents. So, is there probably too many of us out there? Yeah, there probably is. But, it is what it is, right? So
it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is. You got fun stuff going?
Yeah, I got some. So I have my annual trip coming up to Lake Vermilion with the guys. We do that a week after fishing opener, and I have a little company up there, so it's kind of fun to mix a little work with pleasure. I actually have a satellite real estate team up there, and then we own Vermilion Dock and Lift Services. I'm a part owner there, so that's open water fishing's coming along. One of my good buddies is a big fisherman. He has all the gear, so I just kind of snap into his systems and drink beer with him.
And go.
Oh,
man.
Yeah, so that's coming up. We have the EXP shareholders event coming up right around that same time, so we're going to run down there for a couple days, just hook up with a bunch of EXP like-minded real estate agents. hear from Glenn, our owner and president, and
Where's
doing
that at?
It's in Orlando. So not the best time to be in Orlando in May. I'm not really a hot weather guy, but after this long winter, I'll take it. Why not?
Yeah.
Need to get some vitamin D, a little deplenished, right now.
Yeah.
But
well, that's too bad. You're going to be gone for Fungi Fest.
yeah, Fungi Fest. We're gonna have to figure out how to work that in. But maybe we could just get somebody else from the Snyder team to hop on in there that
Someone
probably
should.
even far more capable than me. So maybe we got to figure out who that is. Maybe they'll come walking in the door here pretty soon. We can send the invite to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever wants to. I know. Gretchen lives in the area, and she's got a family, and it's a family friendly deal. So
Yeah.
that'd be fun if she came, or Claire.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's,
Everybody's invited.
and it's cool with Gretchen and Claire. They're totally different. We're all got so different personalities, So I think it'd be fun to have those guys as part of it. Yeah. Like I'll miss you guys at Fungi Fest. It's just, Minnesota and Wisconsin, you only have so much time to take it all in, right? And get your stuff done. So you try to do what you can do, Other than that, got Easter weekend coming up and hosting and that kind of thing. And then, the real estate market's starting to pick up, which is great.
It is.
We're all excited to be getting busier and helping people. And, that's what it's all about, is helping people, and finding them the right house and selling their houses to make their dreams come true, whether they're going down to Florida or going up north or wherever they're going. That's what I love about my job is, actually, I shouldn't call it my job because it says it was a lifestyle. That's what I love about my lifestyle is I get to help people with that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
and it affords you time to do other things that you enjoy doing also.
yeah, that's great. You want to work with like-minded people. So it's, whatever clubs you're part of or, like doing like what we're doing, just talking about outdoors and fishing and hunting and stuff like that. Those are the types of people I love to work with too.
Yep.
You have a lot to talk about. So smoking meat.
Smoking meat.
Smoking meat. That's why we call this thing real estate, etc. You just never know what you're going to get.
Real estate, etc. So this is our first episode together. We did a little podcast out of the Snyder team office, like a year and a half ago. I kind of used it just to get to know the team.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. I missed doing that, so I'm excited to embark on this with you. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And
I'm looking forward to it too because I've changed the way that I choose to bring content into my mind, and one of the ways that I do it is by listening to people's podcasts.
Me too.
It's I really find value in learning about things of people who are maybe accomplishing what I seek to accomplish one day, or have been successful in some realm of their life, whether it might be financially, whether it might be spiritually, what have you. So I think podcast is a whole nother way of filtering the content that you want for you personally versus getting the general content of the major news channels and that sort of thing. I've just opted not to really pay as much attention to that. So getting back to our podcast here, I think my main goal is to provide some really good real estate advice to people, but at the same time, lightheartedly, and share some of the other etc. stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah, the storytelling.
Story time. Yeah, because I believe there's a lot of things to share and a lot of things that we can share with people. Especially since we've been involved in almost going on 5,000 real estate transactions now. So there's a lot of knowledge there to share.
Yeah, how many years have you been doing it?
23 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What made you get into it?
Actually, Jennifer. Yeah. Business partner got me into it. So, so she, that was her gig. I was in corporate America and then hooked up with Jennifer and ran from there. Thought it was going to be kind of a temporary thing.
Sure.
23 years later. Yeah. No, it's been an interesting ride for sure.
Well, you're good at it. So,
yeah. Well, I appreciate that. You as well.
I'm trying, man.
Yeah. You know?
I like where I meet my clients.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually it's at a gig.
Yeah, gig or
fishing.
whatever, you know. Yeah, that's what's great. We don't really have to have a brick and mortar office you need to meet people at.
Yep.
Nobody really does that anymore anyways, really. You know?
Not really.
Changes a lot.
Twin Point, that's a meeting.
Twin Point's a great office spot. You know, get some tacos, get some bush lattes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have some good chicken too.
Yeah, they do. They do. So,
well, cool. We've been going for 40 minutes.
yeah. What's the average podcast go for?
Oh, I'd say anywhere from 30 to an hour.
30 to an hour. Yeah. Well, that was pretty easy. We can kind of just keep rambling. I mean,
100%, and come up with some things that we want to talk about, or maybe out at the silo sometime.
yeah.
When your boys are in town, we can get set up a couple mic. I could bring some more microphones, and
Yeah. We could tell those stories after the hunt that day.
Yep,
Which is the fun part, and see what they have to say. But yeah, that would be definitely a delight to do that.
Yep, and we can fully edit stuff out, so we don't ever have to be reserved.
Oh, we're not going to go live?
No, we can. I like going back and because sometimes you'll burp or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, exactly. Sneeze or whatever.
But I do like as live as possible.
Yeah, well, I think we'll probably hear some bodily functions we might just leave in there.
Yeah, like chowing on deer meat.
Yeah, I mean that's what makes us relatable, right?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Well, Chris, looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, Bob.
Yeah, should be fun.
Yeah.
Should be fun. So
go
hope
out.
you guys like it too. If you don't, tell us. Or you know what, even better, don't tell us. But if you do, share us.
Yeah, and if you don't, share it with your enemies.
Yeah, exactly. Because we'll like them.
All right, we'll see you guys.
All right, bye now.